Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Bruce and welcome back to another deck showcase video. This week I'm going to show you a Momo Hafubuki deck because Momo is the one that carries this whole deck, but before that we actually got a pretty big card adjustment just a few days ago. We're going to take a look at it first before going to the deck showcase. But as usual, if you want to skip, you can use the timestamp below. Alright then, let's take a look at the nerfs first. First up, we got two of Momo Hafubuki cards. This is the reason that I had to redo my whole goddamn video because I didn't expect a nerf is coming out. But yeah, they reduced the on activation effect power boost to just +1. It's not much, but it will definitely reduce aggro deck power a little bit. Well, it's mostly going to reduce the power of Amanozako and the new Ubume performance. And then we have Breeze of Revival Blossom. Thankfully, this card only got its health reduced, making it easier to snipe. Okay, this is actually a fair nerf because this card is very freaking powerful. Next is Langya's Evolve. They removed the on activation effect. Yeah, that search on activation was too good. It's really unfair because his card is really powerful, especially the SSR. Now after the nerf, you might want to bring 2 SSR instead of just 1 just to increase your chance of getting it in your hand early game. Then we have Overshadow. Yeah, I kind of saw this coming, to be honest, because with the attack boost, Kagewani is an instant 5 attack snipe with first move. You might think it's unnecessary nerf, but you guys need to remember that once activated, this effect is permanent and you can give it to any one of your other Shigami. Then they put Homing Bird on the nerf section, but this is actually a buff. Well, not exactly a buff because they just reverted the card to its original effect. This is what made Hana so good in the early days. Easy high damage snipe plus a draw on top of it. I'm glad they unnerved it. Hopefully this will make Hana a bit more playable in today's meta. And now for the buffs. First is Hana's form. At the end phase, she will basically summon a Painting Realm with 4 intensity instead of just 2. It's still very situational, but I guess it fits with the Homing Bird buff. I'm not sure if you want to play this. Next is Susabi Evolve. It now gives Vast Sea on activation. With this buff, I think it's safe to remove Vast Sea from your build and bring his other cards instead. And now this one makes me feel conflicted. Humaneko Revenge now has attack immunity on activation. I mean, her main gimmick is to die and use the high Kume stacks to power up her other cards. I do not know if this will make her better or not. The next is Joruri's Purity. They reverted back to its original stats. Joruri, being the weakest out of the 4 guardians, definitely need this card back. If they could revert back Revelation 2, that would be nice. And this is the one that I did not expect. Fury Thunderfire Shell got buffed. It has a +1 attack. This is good. You might not think the +1 is a good buff, but Fury main gimmick is to chip away at your opponent's health, so any +1 attack will definitely make him feel a little bit better. Another unexpected one is Miketsu's Dispel Arrow. They gave it a +2. Now, this might be almost as powerful as Suzuka Goten Raidia's Justice. Might, because right now we don't really have a good charged deck. Then we have Akadame form and Manendaki's field got their stats increased. They reverted Akademe's form back to the old version, just the health. And I don't know about Manendake because I don't pay attention to him. I don't use him a lot, but I guess this will be a good buff for the 3 charged force player that I know. And then we have Hakushoju Treasure Box. It is now useful because with this buff, you don't have to bring other Lakshigami. She can now generate the charge by herself. And Dreams also got buffed. In the past, you usually will think about either bringing this or the Gacha spell. Now, you can bring both, and it will also give you a heal on burst. Hakushoju be eating good this patch. And that was the last one. This patch is awesome. I really like it. They buff a lot of the old Shigami, and it's a really nice buff. Hopefully, this will bring more variation in the rank environment. But for now, let's take a look on our featured deck, shall we? So, this deck is very similar to the Ubume Amonozoko deck, but this focus more on actually assaulting. The good thing about this deck, it's less setup and less complicated than the Amonozoko version. The bad thing is, this deck doesn't have much option for back row removal, but it is much faster than the Amonozoko one, thanks to Karasu Tengu. Basically, you want to go back and forth, switching positions using the stand fast effect, and with Karasu Tengu Wind Chase that will allow you to very easily clear the combat zone. Then if you have enough power but don't have Assault, you can use Blade of Justice to help you deal even more damage. It is honestly such a fun and very simple deck in my opinion. And here is the card priority list. For the high priority, you definitely want Shiranui's Evolve and Song of Starfire. Those two cards is crucial for ramping up your deck power. And then Momo's SSR is also a really good one to have at the start. But if you didn't get any of that, you want to either at least have Momo's Floral Breeze to search cards or either one of Karasu Tengu and Ubume draw cards. That is the minimum requirement for the starting hand. The rest, you don't have to worry about it, you can get it along the way. For the situational choice, Deadly Flock and Swim on the Pond, sure both are great cards, but they can only shine on very specific situation. And for finisher, pretty much all of our level 3 cards are our finisher, especially Ubume's card. All of it are finisher. On the first replay, I'll show you how we can deal 20 plus damage by using Ubume's card. Karasu Tengu Evolve is always scary to have, especially with how often you can move him around by either his own cards or Momo's SSR. Now, Momo's Evolve is either a hit or a miss, depending on the matchup. This Evolve alone can set up any of your Shigami to be the ultimate wall, because a Shigami that has a plus combat power is completely immune to any kind of damage and they cannot insta-kill it. The bad thing is, none of our Shigami other than Ubume can keep that power boost unless you use Momo's level 1 form. That's why we are bringing just one. Mainly want to focus on assaulting using her level 2 form instead. The Evolve is here for mostly flex. And that's about it for the deck rundown. It is much shorter compared to the usual one because this is not a complicated deck to play at all. But it does need a bit of forward thinking. So yeah, for now, let's move on with the replay. Our first matchup is actually up against a great Luminary player. It's been a while since we had someone this high ranked, but yeah, they are using a Kosodenote deck that is pretty similar to the one that I made a while back. This should be pretty interesting because both of our deck plays pretty aggressively. We get the second turn, which is not ideal, but as long as we get Song of Starfire or some draw cards, we should be able to do something. So with this deck, your first level up would always be Shiranui, because you want to get that rally going as soon as possible. The rest, you can level up depending on your matchup, but most of the time, Karasu Tengu will be your last one. We did attack with Momo just so they cannot rapid attack using their Fury. On our turn, we'll attack using our Shiranui first, then use Feint to stand fast our Ubume. This way, the opponent will get baited into sniping Shiranui. It's fine if she gets killed now because we don't have her evolve yet. On their turn, they will activate Threading that will deal 2 damage to our Ubume, then kills our Shiranui. After that, they will actually attack with Kosodenote, but our Ubume will cancel that and move back. This turn, we get a double level up, so we are going to chip away at their Shigami using Karasu Tengu first. First, we attack normally with him, then put Deadly Flock on him. The reason I didn't put a form first on him is that he will take 4 damage and we cannot fully heal because they only have 4 Shigami. On their turn, they actually brought Mitsume's Snipe spell. Normally that wouldn't kill, but with Kosodenote's form help, that will actually kill our Karasu Tengu. And of course, they will attack with Fury because our combat zone is empty. That spell was very unexpected. Good thing they sniped our Karasutengu and not the others. Karasutengu being defeated in early game is completely fine because he will only shine after you evolve him first. His projectile will remove the free summon and we get a clean 2 hit to the face. On their turn they will once again attack with Kosodenote, then use Steel Feather to kill our Karasutengu. I thought for sure that they will snipe Momo, but they didn't do that. So that will give us much more options on how to move on the next turn. On our turn, we need to take out Kosodenote before she gets to level 2. So we activate Song of Starfire. I know it already has haste, but we need more attack. Boost. So we activate Song of Freedom too. When we attack, that 5 attack will kill Kosodenote and almost kill their Mitsume. Seriously, this card is great for today's meta because there are a lot of Shigami that stays in the back. On their turn, they will just put the auto revive form on Mitsume, then attack with him to kill our Blazing Flame and pass. On our turn, I want to get rid of that form, so we put Child Sending Song on Ubume, then we assault. That did kill their Mitsume. I don't want Ubume to stay at the combat zone because next turn their Otengu will fire off projectile. So I will use the Glowing Blossom to revive our Karasutengu to take the hit and pass. At the start of their turn, the Dark Feather Blade will damage our Karasutengu. They finish another Mitsume's mission, then will fire off a Feather Blade Storm, killing both of our attacker. After that, they will fire off their last Steel Feather to snipe our Momo. I was gonna say that it would be pretty useless if they didn't kill our Momo, but they did actually kill her. Well, their Shigami has low health, so might as well try our luck. We play our last Song of Starfire, then assault. That will kill their Otengu and damage their Mitsume. We reset the assault with our Song of Truth, and the second assault will actually kill their Fury and deal 3 damage to them. With only Mitsume left, they cannot deal any huge damage, so we are pretty safe. On their turn, they will finish another Mitsume's quest, then actually put the level 2 form on Kosodenote. When they assault, her skill activates and kills our Shiranui while getting rid of our Blazing Flame. Well, it's been a while since we are in this position, but we cannot do anything, so we pass. On their turn, they will just assault again and pass. See? Their main attacker is out, that's why they cannot deal huge damage. 3 of our Shigami will finally revive, and we can actually finish them off with this turn. First, we evolve Ubume, then activate Momo's Blossom because it doesn't take any orbs. We use the Stand Fast effect to move Ubume forward. Her skill will get rid of Mitsume. We activate Feint to get another Stand Fast. We drew Wind Chase, so we activate that just so we get that small projectiles from Karasutengu. Then we move Ubume forward with our second Stand Fast effect, and finally finish them off with Blade of Justice. And that, my friend, is how we deal 20 plus damage in one turn. Our second battle will show you how this deck fares against stall or stun decks. Just by looking at the lineup, you can probably guess how they will play. It's a late game burst deck. When fighting against this kind of deck, it is very crucial to get Song of Starfire in your hand, because that's the only way you can reach the back row Shigami. But we did get the first turn this time, so that will help us a lot. On their turn, they are so lucky, so they put Spying Eye on Yukihime and assault with Ichimokuren and pass. Yeah, the first few turns will just be simple moves like this. That's just how it is with both of the decks. We're not going to move Karasutengu because he will just get killed for nothing. On their turn, they will assault with Ichimokuren again and summon a Frost Core and pass. That is actually great because we can just pass while building up our rally effect. So unless they are willing to destroy their own Frost Core, we'll just stay back and relax until we can smack them hard enough. On their turn, they will evolve Yukihime, then use Outline Sketch to draw 2 cards. We did get hit by the true projectile, but that is fine. On our turn, we have enough rally to kill at least 2 of their Shigami. So we activate Song of Starfire, and that will hit their Yuki Onna and Shishio. We reset the assault with the Song of Truth, then boost a little bit more with Song of Freedom. And out of sheer coincidence, that will hit the same target again. We got lucky with that one. On their turn, they will evolve Ichimokuren, that will instantly trigger Yukihime's skill because that counts as playing 2 cards. Then they will smack our Blazing Flame, that way they can lock us from attacking with Yukihime's form skill. But for now, we'll just pass. On their turn, they will just attack with Ichimokuren again and pass. Well, this is kind of expected because both deck plays at level 3. I mean, we can still do things at level 2, but for this matchup, I'm saving the cards until we can actually fight them with it. We finally have enough rally to take down their Ichimokuren, so we put Child Sending Song on Ubume, then swim in the pool for the stand fast effect. Because of the form effect, we'll still deal damage despite not having assault orbs. It's a really handy form to have. On their turn, they will veil their Yuki Onna with Forest Shroud, then try to snipe our Ubume with Snowgas, but I did not expect them to actually pull out a Forest Find to actually kill her. At least they had to waste 3 cards just to kill one Shigami. That is a really bad trade-off. On our turn, we will evolve and put a form on Karasutengu, but the problem is, I forgot that we actually got stunned, so we have to pass. On their turn, they will put Desire for Power on Shishio, then attack with him. That 5 damage really hurts. Then they activate a snowball on our Karasutengu just to trigger the Yukihime skill. But fear not, we still have ways to turn this around. On our turn, we will evolve Momo, then activate Momo Blossom for that boost. That should be enough, so we stand fast, first clearing Shishio easily, then smacking them for 4 points and pass. On their turn, they will activate Heart of Winter to power up the snowballs. Fire one off on Karasutengu, then activate Misty Wind to stun our Momo. And to top it off, Yukihime will stun Karasutengu at the end phase. Yeesh, this is looking rough. We will evolve and put our last Child Sending Song on Ubume. We stand fast, that will deal 14 damage. Then we activate Feint to draw a card, and we got Song of Freedom. That is awesome, so we pass. That is an awesome card for our setup next turn. Let's see what they can do to turn this around. Our Ubume is completely immune to all damage, by the way, and she cannot be insta-killed because of Momo's evolve. They will instead stun Karasutengu with a Resting Wind, then activate Skill Imitation to stun our Ubume. And because they got stun fast, they will move Ichimokuren to Combat Zone and pass. This is getting a little bit more rough than usual. Normally, other decks would have given up, but we will not. On our turn, we put Flower Moonlight on Momo, targeting Shiranui, then activate Song of Freedom on herself. We assault to deal 6 damage and pass. At the start of their turn, our Shiranui is now immune to all damage, thanks to Momo's form and evolve. They cannot remove Shiranui with their tools, but they actually got a second skilled imitation, stunning our Karasutengu again. Yeah, they probably got some kind of trauma because of Karasutengu. They will fire off 1 snowball on our Ubume and put another form on Shishio, but they move Ichimokuren forward instead. And at the end phase, Yukihime will stun our Shiranui, but that is unfortunate for them because we drew Feint. This should be enough to end them. First, we will evolve Ubume, then activate Feint. We assault, that will remove the Ichimokuren, then we activate Higi Tsubame Gaishi to end them. And with that, you have reached the end of the video. I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any deck requests or suggestions, let me know down in the comments. If you want to support me, I have Patreon and Ko-Fi links down below. And do not forget to join the Onmyoji Discord because we got some awesome and helpful people in there. That is it for me. See you on the next video. Bye!